Hamilton, one of the most successful Broadway shows ever. And the Australian production is coming our way soon, with two of our very own in leading roles.
I trusted him.
I loved him.
It's pretty special, really. Yeah. We've known each other for about 10 years now. We worked on Lion King together first, and I guess back then we were the young ones. On this project here in Hamilton, we're the pakeke now.
Yeah.
We're the pakeke panel. You know, like making sure the kids are okay and tohu tohu ya rātou.
I'm past patiently waiting, I'm passionate, smashing every expectation, every action's an act of creation. I'm laughing in the face of casualties of sorrow.
Hamilton follows the life of Alexander Hamilton, one of those who signed America's Declaration of Independence from Great Britain. Matu plays another mover and shaker, George Washington. And Akina plays Hamilton's sister-in-law, Angelica. Hard mahi, 8 shows a week with just one day off.
How do you do it?
That's a really good question, still asking myself. It's a whole lot of working out what works for you. It depends how much sleep you've had, what you've eaten, how many parties you say no to. That's a big one. Looking after yourself vocally, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, in order to serve the show.
What sets this show apart is that people of colour play the lead roles of historically white characters.
How challenging has the role been, because you are playing a Pākehā person?
He was for want of a better word, a white man. But I guess the beauty about art and the beauty about being creative is the license to tell a story in the way that we want to. And I think the show being written through hip hop and rap and Destiny's Child style ballads and John Legend style songs is a really incredible thing.
If we were to reverse it and have a Pākehā performing as a Māori tipuna, that could be different. What are your views on that?
Yeah, I feel uncomfortable thinking about that, to be really honest. I don't know how that might work. It could. I don't know what that would look like. But I also think like our ahurea has really strong identifying markers, reo, tikanga. And I don't know if any non-Māori would really be comfortable in themselves playing someone.
Just like her character Angelica, Akina is the oldest of 7. They grew up in Napier and Ruatoria.
So I feel like I've had these children without them being in my womb, basically.
Yeah. How proud are they of you?
Pretty proud. Oh my God, my brothers are funny.
What do they
do? Like one of them, you know how our Kiwi boys are very just like chill, laid back. So you've got to kind of differentiate what each grunt means. Like one's like chirp. That's if you're getting more vocals, and you're like, yo, I've made them proud.
At 16, Akina auditioned for New Zealand Idol. She wanted to be a professional singer, but was put off by the thought of university.
That's fine by me. Don't worry me.
I definitely thought that university was just not for Māoris. It's only for like rich kids. You know, that sort of mindset.
Yeah.
So I never even considered going to tertiary education because I never thought I wasn't allowed in my mind.
In the end, she gained a tertiary qualification in performing arts, the first of her whānau to get one, before getting a break in Australia. There's been The Lion King, Sister Act, and The Voice Australia. For Akina, Matu and the whole Australian cast, a career highlight was meeting this man, Lin-Manuel Miranda, the force behind Hamilton.
Time I'm thinking past tomorrow. A bunch of revolutionary manumission abolitionists. Give me a position, show me where the ammunition is.
Lin-Manuel is Puerto Rican, and his whole idea was to make history a more diverse experience, something he could share.
So I grew up loving musicals, but you also, if you were a person of color, you also grow up with a little fear of like, but there aren't that many parts for us in the shows that already exist. And so I really started writing my first show in the Heights out of a fear that like the roles that I think I could play don't exist yet. And it's really kind of contingent upon me and all of us to write the roles that we see as missing and the stories we see as missing. And Hamilton's just a continuation of that for me.
Why did you want rap music to be in Hamilton?
It's the only way I could imagine to tell the story. I think what jumped out at me when I was reading the biography of Hamilton that I read was the fact that at every key moment in Hamilton's life, he wrote. He was a writer. And at every key moment in his life, it's really his writing that transforms his life. And I just thought, who does that but our favorite MCs? They write about their circumstances so vividly that they take us there.
Lin-Manuel has won 3 Tony Awards, 3 Emmys, 5 Grammys.
Roots crew, Sean at Warner Chapel, Riggs and Craig at Atlantic. Like I'm on my right-hand man, this frantic Hispanic is non-stop. The best idea goes in the pot, whether you're Harnick and Bach, Pun, Biggie, or Pac.
We know him here for his songs in Disney's Encanto, Vivo, and Moana, with a little help from Aotearoa of Te Waka.
At night we name every star. We know where we are. We know who we are, who we are.
How challenging was it for you to write songs that were culturally authentic?
What was so exciting about working on that film was already so much work and research had been done. And Aotearoa was always my gut check because everything that comes out of him is authentic and real.
Naeko hakilia, we know the way.
Sounds nice. Okay. For me, Aotearoa was the bar. Like I would write a song and he would go, yeah, it's from an island, but I don't think it's from my island. And he's referencing the rhythm. I'm writing a Caribbean rhythm in something that should not have any Caribbean flavor at all. And so that really he was our gut check in terms of the music really having that authenticity, whether it was songs we co-wrote together, like We Know the Way, to the opening number, which their footage exists of me, because I would, the rhythms he heard were so specific that I would go, Aotearoa, like literally play on this table what you're hearing. And there's footage of him playing on the table, and then I just recorded that and wrote the song.
What do you love so much about Polynesian cultures?
Oh my gosh, I was knocked flat by the central metaphor. I mean, when I learned about, again, I was hired for that project, and the concept of wayfinding was just so extraordinary to me, of the fact that years before Magellan and all of the explorers we learn about in our American and European history books, there were people that were going all over the world, and the process of navigation was keeping your home fixed in your mind as a point so that you could navigate anywhere else from there. I mean, the metaphor of it knocks me out, and the fact that it is actually true and how it worked, and you are reading the stars and the clouds and the wind to navigate the world is extraordinary. It's an extraordinary legacy, and it's an extraordinary metaphor on how to live your life. Of if I know what home is, and I know who my ancestors are, and I know where I come from, I can go anywhere.
Hamilton is coming to New Zealand very soon. What kind of key messages do you think will relate to Polynesian, to Māori back home?
I think you can't help but leave after a story like that thinking about, well, what do I want my legacy to be? And how do I want to be remembered, not by history, but by the people who love me?
As for Akina and Matu, bringing Hamilton home to the people that matter most is something they're enormously proud of and just a little nervous about.
But I'm so excited. It's about time. Like I'm so glad to go home with something that I'm super, super proud of.
It's a tough time at the moment. People are doing it tough at home. So the least I can do is go home and share with them and make them proud by showing them we're up here on the stage, repping for us all, being as beautiful and awesome and strong as we can, and here's a bit of love and joy for you.